We called in a home inspector, and he gave us basically a clean bill of health.
He put nothing in the report about the garage?
Nothing.
That's a no-no. And he should have put that in the report.
The whole room.
The whole room is freezing.
Oh, my goodness. Wait till I open that up.
It's just been too many things, and the surprise was really how unthorough the inspection was.
Stuart and Kim bought the home from the original owner, kind of like that. They bought it big enough for them and their 2 dogs, with an unfinished basement so they could see what the house is built like, where the wires run, where the pipes run. Smart. Home inspector found a couple of little things. The homeowners did the right things. They actually started to fix the things that he put in paper. However, things started to go wrong. Things just weren't quite right. What did Stuart and Kim really learn from the home inspector? Well, I'm here to do a homes inspection. I'm going to ask questions, get answers, so I can find solutions to help Stuart and Kim make it right.
When we first decided where we wanted to live, we spent about 18 months scouring the area because our criterion was fairly specific.
A lot of homes, a lot of open houses, a lot of showings, and a lot of the new houses they build now don't give you much of a yard. We wanted something that's a little bit more open.
We were looking at a home that was in well enough maintained shape that we wouldn't have to do any serious renovations when we came in, but that still had the potential that we wanted in terms of beautifying it aesthetically. So when we found this home, we were really excited. We thought we had found our dream home.
We called in a home inspector, and he gave us basically a clean bill of health on the house. Nothing's wrong with it, just minor maintenance. Recommended having the furnace and air conditioner replaced, which we did.
He also recommended re-insulating the roof, and so we did. It was only when we started having issues that we went back through the report to see if those were captured, and then the surprise was really how unthorough the inspection was.
Wipe your paws. Kim.
Hi.
I'm Mike. Nice
Hi,
to
Mike.
meet
Nice
you. You
to
must
meet
be
you.
Stu. Come on out.
How you doing, Mike?
We have a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
With a home inspector, you're sort of counting on him or her to give you the highlights of his or her findings up front, as opposed to having to scan the document. So the really big things that we were looking for, that we were upfront about, we expected him to mention, and we were assured that everything was fine.
All right, if it didn't look bad, he's not going to see anything. Why do we have a mesh on the gable?
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Did you put the mesh up?
We did.
Yes, we did. The trouble started, we're upstairs and we hear scratching in the walls. We're saying, well, what the heck is this scratching in the walls? And we realized it was squirrels getting into our house. We were outside one time and we were watching them actually go in and out of the roof line. Wasn't too impressed with that. The inspector doesn't notice, looking at the vent, that there's a hole in there, you can get rodents getting in there.
Do you have leaks in the bathroom? This is your bathroom up here.
There is moisture around the side of it.
Around the skylights.
Around the
there's a little
skylights.
rust in that.
Okay, and did you talk to the inspector about this?
Didn't see it there at the time.
Yeah. it wasn't.
And he didn't say anything?
Nothing.
He put nothing in the report about the garage?
Nothing.
Okay, look around the door. See the gaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing that caught my eye, and then I looked down. What do I see when I look down?
It's exposed.
It's all exposed.
The problem is the wall is not sealed to the foundation. It's not sealed to the door. And what do you put in here?
Cars.
Cars, right. What comes off the cars?
Exhaust.
And what comes into the house?
Carbon monoxide.
That's right. How could he miss this? So that's a no-no. And he should have put that in the report.
Stuart has a snowmobile that he often runs the engine just to make sure that it's tuned up, and he runs it in the garage. We never gave any thought to that, but now with the fumes entering the home, that's a huge issue. That's a very serious miss.
Look how neat this is. Look how proper this is. And we have the ESA sticker, so I love that. So they came in and checked it all.
We had to change the electrical panel as well because it was actually, there were too many circuits loaded on the original panel, and that was something that the home inspector did not tell us, that we actually had an overloaded panel that needed to be changed. I would imagine a home inspector should be trained to determine that.
This one here is the shower with the water hammer.
Here's why pipes bang. Not enough clamps on the pipe holding it, right? Because if you can shake the pipe and it goes,
Yeah.
Imagine when you have pressure on the pipe, turning it on and off, pressure, boom, it bangs. You really need to anchor all your pipes nicely secured so they don't bang. So this is pretty well original. Not too often I see carpet in the bathroom. So something tells me you saw potential in the house.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you're gonna upgrade it in time to come.
That was exactly the plan.
We do have the electrical rad, and so someone was cold at one point. You did not do it.
No.
No.
One of their biggest issues is in the wintertime, it gets really cold around the suite bathroom. Really, really cold. Even though there's a heat register up there and an electric baseboard heater up there.
So we're freezing cold. Did you feel the walls? Did you check things out? Is the floor cold?
The whole room.
The whole room is freezing.
Like, put it this way, in the wintertime, for us to stay warm in our bedroom, we
Exactly.
gotta keep this door closed.
Such a deep window well. Why is that so deep? Ooh, I'm gonna be looking into that. That wall's right at the window on the outside. You see how deep this is?
Yeah.
What's in this wall?
Nothing, but it's cold.
No idea. It's
really cold.
So I can tell you that.
I'm gonna go through the whole house. I'm gonna find what I can find. I'm gonna start obviously opening things up. Funny feeling about your bathroom here. It just may be opened up a lot. But don't worry, I'm gonna make it right. That's what I do.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Okay.
It's just scary. You know, what did this other guy miss?
Mike's already found far more areas than we expected, so I think we're both a little concerned about what other things he's going to find. It's a little bit scary.
This is what we call raking. Because this is a straight rake right through the brick, all it does is creates a reveal against the two pieces of brick. It looks attractive. It's actually quite nice. If the whole house is like this and we have snow and rain, it allows to penetrate on the top of that brick. So this is where we break the brick because water gets in, freezes, and pushes the face of the brick. So if it's raked back, it's a problem. Minor, but it's a problem. Pay now or pay later. Anytime I see a front fascia like this, just the wood and the stucco, I know there's gonna be a few problems. What are the problems? Well, not so much the stucco, because it's painted, it's gonna resist water or moisture. The problem that I see is the wood itself. We are here in a snow belt. It's beautiful in the summer, but in the winter we have a lot of snow. So picture it sitting on the roof line and up against that wood. It's just a sponge absorbing moisture. That's why that one's the worst piece. When I was on the inside, what I was looking at was that void, that window well. So we have the front fascia here where the window is. As we continue to go in, that void was probably open up in an area of, I'd say 32 inches deep. So that whole void means it's an open area, much like an attic space, okay? But it's on its own. Is it breathing? Is there creatures in there? Is there problems? It's freezing cold in the bathroom. We have an issue. I see the homeowner put the mesh up on the end gable for the venting, which is great, but, you know, is it the entrance where all the creatures are getting in is the question. If I stand back and take a look at it, I don't think it is. I don't think it's big enough. I think they're coming from somewhere else, but I'll find out. You gotta love this. I don't know who built the fence. Pets escape, please close gate, right? I don't know who built it. It wasn't me. Little things like this that drive me insane. This window should have been further out. We want to make this corner exceed to this point because this flashing now is the top of the foundation wall. Think of snow, think of driving rain once again. As long as it's cocked, it's fine. It's when it's not cocked, like this side. That caulking is cracked. Oh, that is sloppy. Once again, we need to think it's a cold zone in the winter with snow. How low is this to the snow? That is wood. That is plywood. Ants, critters, bugs, mice, water, moisture, snow, etc. Is it good? No. I saw nothing in the report about the eaves troughs or downspouts. What I did see was kick them out from away from the foundation. The homeowners did do that. Good. Obviously, these troughs are old. They have an improper slope. The water's never going to make it to the downspouts. Really, it's just going to spill over the edge of the eaves trough. So seeing right here, we've had moisture issues. Not to mention, there was a switch here and the homeowners didn't know what it turned on. When the builder built the house, there was a light right here. Hard to see, but it's there. That's an octagon box that is right there. There was obviously another chandelier option in this area. So the homeowner, the original homeowner, said to the builder, we don't want that there, can you take it out? So all they did was plaster right over the box, and they left the wires inside. I'm gonna have to find out if they're live. This is definitely signs of moisture. When I was walking through with them, I started to notice the mold. And if we follow it, this is minor surface mold that we see across there, across the next one in the same area. Nothing on the bottom, but we can continue. Minor surface mold again. I think that they've had some floods here. I think that they've tried everything they could, the previous owners, to solve the problem of water coming in. I mean, you have that much moisture, it's gonna create surface mold. I love it that the homeowners thought ahead. We want a house that is unfinished basement. I mean, that's great thinking, because when it's not finished in the basement, you get to see everything. They paid attention. When we put up studded walls and drywall, we call that enclosure, right? So now all we see is paint. We don't know if there's cracks in the foundation, leaks, until we start smelling something or the carpet's wet. So from the homeowner, I'm just gonna take some shots and create a documented package based on what I see, and then an information package will be on what they have to do to fix it, as well as what I have to fix. It's great to see that the homeowners went on their own. They bought the right tape and taped the joints. The furnace guys didn't do that, because you know why they didn't do that? Because they don't have to do that, right? Only the good guys do that. Only the good guys that have integrity come in and do the duct mud or the tape. Only the good guys do that. Good guys think it's their home. This is one of those mind over matter theories. It's not mine, so it doesn't matter. I think the next thing I'm going to do is put on my overalls and break some holes. Because I got a funny feeling when I get into that bathroom, I'm gonna see a whole lot of things done wrong. And more than likely, a whole lot of wonderful creatures that just may surprise me.
When we started experiencing the electrical problems, cold drafts in the bedrooms, and rodents in the roof, in hindsight, would we have bought this house?
No,
Probably
definitely
not.
not.
Nice hot day.
Beautiful day.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're gonna be pulling down drywall in the garage, the upper area, because I need to see how the critters are getting in and see if we can find anything else up there. So let's get our tools, get going. So we'll just start by opening this up.
I think that's the first time I've seen you use a hammer to punch a hole in the wall. All right. There you go.
Interesting.
What do you see up there?
Well, I see a bunch of raccoon poop.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they've made a bathroom here. Before I go further, I just want to confirm there's nothing gonna jump out at me and scare the hell out of me, knock me off the ladder. Ooh, we definitely have animals living in here. Right now, there's nothing in here, so I'm kind of happy about that. They've taken the paper down in the back of the insulation here, and they've actually used it as a bathroom. Wow. I tell you, the off-gassing from the vehicles, no problem getting in the house. Well, all they've done was drywalled, like the truss. They've just drywalled the back of this truss. That's why it's so flimsy here, because it's like drywalling the back of this. Why didn't they go directly to the house? I don't know. This is really strange. Well, this is gonna be easy. We'll pull this all down and then we'll move ourselves in the house.
This is like a raccoon highway in here. Not for long, boys. We're coming for you.
Whoa, is it hot? Wow, we have plenty of insulation. No signs of mold, very good. I got venting. Right now, there's no critters up there. There's no real evidence that they're going through the attic. As you would see the paths of them going, up and down like the kids playing in snow. Good sign up there, I have to say. It's a good sign. I'm feeling a little better. Maybe it is the front that they're coming in. Okay.
Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to peel it up around the corners here, guys, but we're going to have to cut this into sections. I don't want to carry this around. The most moisture in your whole house will be right in your bathroom. Moisture and carpet don't like each other. They will start to mold. Also, you do not want carpet around your toilet for obvious reasons.
You actually put the toilet on top of the carpet.
You've got to be kidding me. Yvonne, are you wearing gloves at least?
Half glove.
You're a brave soul, my friend. We're gonna rip this out. We are gonna give them some tile in here. It help with the smell, help with the bacteria.
I'm seeing signs on the inside of moisture, and I think the weeping is blocked on this side. The way to get in, I see, is the window well. There's a vertical weeper. If you can get your snake and camera down there and just take a look to see what we see, maybe you can find another route, and then let me know what you find.
No problem.
I'm getting a whole lot of moisture down here. On the floor joist here and across here, we're seeing surface mold. So it's one of a couple things, possibly from the water coming through the floor due to a possible blockage in the weepers, and too much moisture in here. Maybe from the humidifier, but please look.
All right.
Just in case it's possibly the HVAC.
No problem.
Thanks, pal.
Humidifier being located on one side of the plenum, you're basically putting more humidity on one side of the house. This should be central, bringing it around and tying it in. So that way you're putting the humidity into the plenum and separating it evenly. We got some wiring that's coming in through the return joist lining. There's a lot of play in this floor. You can have it chafing the wires, cutting it open. You're gonna liven up the whole ductwork. So I'll change that out, change those pans out. We'll put some thermal pan in. It's basically a product that's made out of cardboard with an aluminum sheathing on top. We can go right over the electrical wiring. It'll never liven it up. Being a cold area, a lot of heat leaking into this basement could be, again, a moisture problem or what could be creating one of the problems in here. So we'll seal all the ductwork up, make sure there's nothing leaking down here.
Well, you're just right in there, aren't you? Well, it's full of stone, isn't it?
It's full of stone, and
It's
this
wet.
is where I'm getting. It's wet, and it should be a 3/4 inch clear stone. So this won't allow me to put my camera in and actually investigate what the condition of this weeping tile is.
Problem being is now I can't get to the weepers. Do I gotta dig a hole?
Are you guys done yet?
Another 3 to 7 feet.
You have half an hour.
I'm using the jackhammer on the, we'll call it dirt, but it's actually clay, because clay is extremely hard. It's very dense, and let's just say, if I was using this with a pick, I'd have one sore back. I'd probably be sleeping over there by the end of the day. So this just makes my life a little bit easier.
Well, now that all this drywall is down, by looking at this, I'm starting to think that the homeowner called the builder after they moved in and said, our bathroom is freezing cold. And I think the builder put in the heater. I think the builder actually added a secondary row of drywall over top of this, so more insulation, another piece of drywall, vapor barrier on the wrong side. And I'm upstairs, because I just looked in the attic, which looks fine, by the way. And I come down, I look back in the bathroom, and I see the exhaust fan. And I realize the exhaust fan is on the corner of the bathroom, which means my bathroom's more over here, which leads me to here.
Yeah.
So check this out. Hold this ladder for me.
Yeah.
And I'm right.
What do you got?
I have a massive void here. An absolute massive void. And here's what we're gonna do next.
Yep.
Because I'm going in there. Pull down all this drywall, pull out all the insulation of this whole section, and just do me a favor after that, cut that access open because I'm going in. I'm gonna tell you why that room is freezing. This area needs to be vented from the roof.
Yep.
That side needs to be vented from the roof because there's no air escape.
Oh Mike, you're gonna love this, buddy. I can see into the bathroom around this fan.
Now, once this is all down and I get down that side, I'm going to show you why it's so cold in that room, how it's coming up through, how the critters are getting through, and wait till you see that side.
I'll believe you.
Okay, keep going. I'm excited. Just in case she falls, I'll catch her. Or pass that to me. Okay, thank you. So, Sherry, since you're here with me, let's take a look here. Okay. So we see that that's the bathroom right from that edge right across to this edge here, right?
Yeah.
We can see the exhaust fan is wrong. It shouldn't be in the wall. It should be in the ceiling. It's ducted wrong. It's a 3-inch line. Let's change our ladders so we can get up there.
Okay.
If you want, you can come in with me. You're gonna love this. You can come see it, and I'll explain why it's cold. Come on in. This is the bathroom, right here. So the question is, why is it so cold in the bathroom in the winter? Remember, this little attic space is freezing cold in the winter. Freezing in here. Look, we got gaps here, right?
Yeah, so
that's the inside wall. That's the, right there. You see that? There's the inside wall right there. What's that? That's the floor. So none of that's protected. They stopped the insulation from here, didn't protect the floor. This is just poorly done. Like, this is not going to work. Obviously, for 20-something years, this bathroom's been freezing. Not insulated enough, too much home for a critter to get in, evidence that they've climbed the wall and now gone up. And that newspaper up there's got me a little curious. You can tell what year it is.
2008.
2008. So maybe the critters brought it up.
That'd be kind of cute.
Yeah, use it as a buffer. Who knows? It's their insulation. So that's the window well. Do you see any insulation at all on the bottom?
No, there's nothing in here.
That's such a cold zone. It's just going to keep driving the cold in. I think I'm going to strip everything from the outside and spray it. And all we have to do is spray all this all the way down and cover it, hit the bottom all the way through, spray all this wall. And we're going to have to drop the ceiling in the bathroom so we can spray the ceiling. And we're going to redo this, and I guarantee you, by the time we're done, that will be the warmest room in the house.
You think they at least tried, though?
I think they tried, but I think they failed.
Yvonne, start taking off the wood down that side. I'm gonna start on this side, and then we'll just go right into the plaster, okay, buddy? Heads up down there. And don't be gentle. It's a beautiful day to rip off the front face of a house. We have a lot of rot going on here. That's number one reason why we're losing this today. Number two reason is we have almost a 3-foot void wrapping around that bathroom that we have to get to with spray foam. Best way to do that is get rid of this. Hiya! Huzzah! Oh, yeah. And we have wasps to contend with. I mean, I hate killing them, but it's them or me at this point. Oh, there's the nest. Wow. Oh, they were right about the little pitter-patter of little feet. There's a good nest. Oh, and we have a dead bird, so we know they're definitely up there. And that shows you how good this screening actually is. I mean, they ate right through that. That's how they got in the house, is right through that hole. Now, I'm going to assume that this hole is for the venting that the builders would have done, but these holes here is all from animals chewing right through. You can see right through here. They started through here, started through here. They've actually found their way in behind the screen, up into here, and just made that a really nice warm home every winter. I mean, I would have done the same thing. This is survival. Well, here's one thing I would have tried to do. If you're going to build out the window 3 feet, you at least want to make sure that this thing is insulated. And as you can see, that is not proper insulation here. No wonder they were cold.
So what I've done is I run a video camera from this point around the corner to the front of the house. The weeping tile is clear. All I have is just a small, sort of a muddy buildup at the bottom of it, which is natural, typical. as the soil penetrates the weeping tile through the holes. But I don't have any tree roots, I don't have any blockages, so the weeping tile problem is out of the question. Everything seems to be working fine.
Now, I want to eliminate any possible moisture issues within this basement. The good news is that the weepers around the whole house are clear. Bad news is that the troughs are all clogged around the whole house. And they've been improperly installed, and we have to redo them.
Whoever installed it didn't slope it right, fills up with water, gunk. If you look across there, you can see the drip line. How it was just perfectly level all the way across.
So what we're gonna have Steve do is kick out the downspouts 2 feet off of the foundation, solving any more moisture issues against that foundation wall. Nah, no animals in here. No, just be nice. Oh my God, we have a tree. Hey! Yeah, and you can see they've eaten right through this. So we definitely have an infestation. And you can see they've eaten right through that insulation. Assuming that they're in there in the winter, they were within the void trying to get to the warm side. That's why they come to this surface right here. They get right in. They didn't do the insulation very well, and that's why they had to rebuild on the outside. You add rodents to the mix that are tearing apart your insulation, and this is gonna be one cold room. Oh, and there is a dead squirrel here. We're gonna make sure they don't come back. Seeing this, I'm gonna take down a little bit more insulation and might as well get Joey to start looking at the electrical because we might have an issue. Forensic evidence. This is sample A.
Thanks.
Okay.
I just checked over all the wiring. Made a bit of a mess. The wiring's all fine. Damon, I think, will be happy. Damon's gonna take down the shower, and it's kind of dark in the shower, so he asked if we can put a shower pod in. The circuit in the bathroom is overloaded, so I need to bring a line up from the panel up into the bathroom here just to pick up this one light that's going in the shower.
So there's my outside bathroom walls, Stevie. So venting, pretty straightforward here.
Well, yeah, very straightforward. We've got solid aluminum panels here. We've changed these out to vented panels to get that air from the outside area here into that cavity, which is going to allow it to breathe up over the bathroom wall.
Right, because we are going to put a ridge vent up right over the bathroom only, right?
Yeah, just over the
to
top
help
of the
this
bathroom.
breathe, this whole thing. So Alex, before we spray foam this ceiling, I just want to create a void to help exhaust out through the ridge vent.
So if you want to vent it, right, the ridge vent would be the proper way to do it. Run your baffles from the soffits, collect the air from the soffit, run it up to the top to the ridge vent.
Without that proper air circulation in that void, moisture will get caught in there and eventually rot out that roof. Okay, let's get the baffles installed, guys. With that taken care of, now we can spray foam.
Getting rid of the old skylights. Putting some new glass skylights in.
This particular unit, the lenses are starting to cloud over. The seals in the skylight itself are starting to wear out. So now's the appropriate time to change them. The advantage here, we don't have to throw this material out. The aluminum and the acrylic's both recyclable. So we're gonna take it off to the appropriate place.
That's raccoon poop right there.
No way.
And then we have all kinds of mice, eh? Look at the nest there.
Yeah, there's just something gross about mice. All of them. Go away.
Get in behind there and take a look, and just do it gently in case some critter's in there.
I love you guys.
Now, the home inspector's not going to see this, and that's the issue. He can't see through the wall. Well, when I came in, I went, that's really strange. We have a void there.
Right.
So I start adding 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = crap in my world. There's problems. But in time I'm done, Your bathroom will be the warmest room in the house in the winter. I absolutely guarantee it.
We're going right across from that side of the wall to this side of the wall. We are building a wall in front of this wall for only one reason. I have to spray foam my outside plate here. This is enough of a void for spray foam, but it's all about the bottom plate here, because if I don't properly insulate that, this is useless.
There was a switch by the front entrance that wasn't doing anything. Talking to the homeowner, he ended up finding out by making a few phone calls that there used to be a box here for a light fixture. So what I've done is I've actually scanned it with a scanner that picks up metal, and I think I've just found the box right here. Stupid things. They've buried this box that was here because nobody wanted a light. And what they've done is, this was live, no moret. So this could have been shorting out on the box. We'll put another light here.
During my inspection, what I discovered is that the faucet was completely loose. This is what it sounded like before. The only way to actually fix that is to physically get access to it. I had two choices: either get to it from the front, where I had the wall all tiled up, or actually get it from the back. It obviously requires opening up the wall, getting physical access to it, and getting all the plumbing exposed. The actual physical fix is not difficult. All it takes is a few straps, a few copper straps, and just to hold the plumbing in place. But all that headache of getting into it, and something that's so simple that should have been done in the first place, was omitted, and obviously it costs us so much now to get it accomplished.
Right now we're putting in this 300 CFM fan, replacing the 80 CFM fan that was mounted in the wall. CFM stands for cubic feet a minute. In other words, amount of airflow. Usually fans of a washroom are usually between 50 to 150 CFM. For this size of washroom, you need a pretty big fan, and we're mounting it in the ceiling between the joists, so we're gonna run the duct out and through the roof.
It's taken a lot of work to get here, but we're finally able to close off the house today. It's amazing how such a small job like a cold bathroom can turn into this massive project. So the void between the exterior wall and the bathroom wall was initially designed by the original builder. This would not have been an issue if it was properly insulated and vented. And now there is no sense at all extending the bathroom to the exterior wall when all we have to do is insulate with spray foam. Now we're gonna be using blue wood on the front face of this house. Now that's mold resistant, water resistant, and insect resistant. There is absolutely no way they will be cold in this bathroom this winter, and by closing off the front of the house, it eliminates the animal highway. Now this is the point where we step up the pace. We don't have a lot of time left on this job, but we have a mountain of work left to do. It's always the fine line, being able to work really fast and making sure it's done right. And that's where I'm really happy with the crew I have, because they can do all of those things. They can work under pressure and get the job done. Here I come. Ready, 1, 2, 3, go. Grout envy. Look at that. That's why I'm covering more square footage. Okay, guys, let's prep the cabinets for install. Please make sure the screws are out. Now, I really wanted to give them the Tudor style back, but instead of replacing it with wood, we wanted to use stucco, which is low maintenance. We started off with the air moisture barrier. We traveled it onto the plywood throughout. Then we applied the styrofoam. We fastened the styrofoam, which is the puck styrofoam that we fastened it with washers. Then we applied the moldings, which you see the brown perimeter is all molding, Tudor style. Then we applied the base coat throughout. And then we're applying the finish coat today. As a contractor, I have to be able to give up some of the glory. The glory a lot of the time goes to the finishers, like the painters of the world, the visual stuff that the homeowners can actually see when they walk in the house. We take care of the safety issues, the insulation issues, making them safe and warm, and I am more than happy with that.
Bottom line, just want a safe, warm, rodent, critter-free house.
Stuart.
Mike.
Cam, how are you? Nice to see you again. Welcome home. Are you happy to be home? No? These guys are working a little hard. Cooler? Yes, it is. It's hot outside, cool inside. And we have the air conditioning going, which has made me really happy.
Oh, for sure.
We can start, just look at the outside here. You see this? Doesn't that look like wood?
It looks amazing.
It's not wood.
It's not.
That's all foam and stucco. So each piece of brown is actually foam. And I love this stuff because it is, what is it? No maintenance.
Yeah.
Right? You may paint it in 10 years from now. That's about it. And that really just solves all the problems in the front.
Looks
really good.
really good.
Well, you're not going to have worries of critters anymore. Notice we took out the vent, which we want vents, but we have it somewhere else. And I'll tell you what happened with that. We did do new east troughs and downspouts throughout your whole house, as well as smart screen. The smart screen's going to help you on many things. You don't have to clean the east troughs and downspouts, and it helps reduce any ice damming. I'll show you the garage, and I'll go into more detail. So Damon, you took apart your bench, and it was really not so good. It's not that you built it bad. Did you build it?
Yes.
Yeah, I had help.
Okay, you built it great. I'm playing with
Nice cover.
You thought he'd give you a couple of cabinets, some storage stuff for the shelves, and it cleans it up a little bit more.
Wow.
But as we look up to the trouble zone, we had everyone crawling in there. We've actually turned that back into an attic space, but you can't see it. Behind that is all the spray foam where we wrapped your bathroom completely and made sure that we stopped any gases coming in from the cars, as well as keeping that wonderful cool air in the summer in your bathroom and vice versa in the winter.
Did you find out where the animals were coming in?
We searched everywhere, every possible route. We found not only the feces of, obviously, raccoons and chipmunks or squirrels, but we found
a dead one. We found it right in the cathedral ceiling of your bathroom. And he had gotten in there, ripped apart your insulation, couldn't get out.
No damage on the electrical, which I'm happy with. Yeah. I'm very happy with that. So to answer your question, no more critters.
I'm happy. Well, what surprised us the most was just the amount of work that needed to be done behind the scenes, the amount of damage that the animals had caused, the amount of insulation that needed to be replaced. It's just such a relief to know that it's been done right.
Gary came in, and we wanted to make sure, you see where your line comes off your humidifier, it actually tied back into the trunk and not the plenum. We want to make sure, so they actually disconnected it off the trunk, covered that hole, and brought it into the plenum on the other side. That was a wrong thing the guys did. We corrected that. We also went through and taped up everything, removed that metal panel that was here because of the electrical issue, put in a safer panel. What we don't want is the metal touching the wires. So that's replaced. By taping all these joints, if you look around everywhere, what that's going to do is increase airflow to where it's supposed to go throughout the house. You had a little bit of, remember the mold we saw on the floor, Joyce?
Yeah.
You had the guys get some scrub brush, a little bit of soap and water, not
grease.
Javax, not any type of bleach, a little bit of elbow grease, clean it all up. You're still gonna see a little bit of dirt there, but the mold's been removed.
So what would cause that?
Too much moisture downstairs. You need to control that and control that humidistat that's on your humidifier. You need to control it. You don't want too much moisture down here. All right, let's work our way upstairs. Now, you got a new light. Sherry picked this light, I was told.
Well, actually, I can see that there was some thought put into it because the alabasters are similar color, and she chose a brown. It has a woman's touch.
Minor electrical things, couple things in the kitchen. He did a couple extra things for us upstairs, as well as working in the garage, and installed all the lights for us. Gotta love these guys.
And you're lucky. I mean, one owner before you guys, there was no renovations done here before. It was brought up to minimum code when the house was passed. So, I mean, there wasn't a lot of electrical or plumbing issues, minor stuff anyway.
Now we're gonna show your bathroom.
Wow.
Okay, it looks a little different, eh?
I don't know.
You know, you had carpet, which really doesn't work in a bathroom for me. I kind of don't like it. This is a high-end tile. It's polished and finished on the top side. So instead of just doing the floor, which we did a lot of prep work to do the floor to lay this tile, we never want to see it crack. We want to see it last forever. We actually brought it up the wall to make sure that it just mimics the floor and looks good on the wall. They cut these down to size, didn't they?
Yeah, we took these tiles and we cut them in quarters and put them up there. I didn't want to put baseboard under the shower or anything. It should be tiled.
And what you didn't see was that everything in the ceiling was completely ripped open. Once this is completely opened up, we created a baffle system. So what we want is air to get up in between each and every rafter, spray in front of that. What did we use?
Multi-Eco.
Ah, we love that. We use a friendly product. Spray foamed everything. We thermal break this side. That is the biggest exhaust fan that we could find to put in here. Let's test it. Turn it on. We want it to run during and after, okay? Always at least 30 minutes after a shower. So we're just gonna put it up on high for a sec. Isn't that quiet?
Nice and quiet.
Let me tell you something, you put your hair up against that, it's gonna give you a nice little feeling. Martin also did some things. We talked about hammering pipes.
Yes.
Okay, so we cut in some holes, and we found some very loose pipes at your showers, both here and
the other washroom.
The other
across the
washroom.
hall here. Your shower actually has a good shelf life left on it. So we didn't have to take it out. That's what I was afraid of. We opened it up, everything was fine. All you had to do was really strap it. Caulking the whole shower as well, taking out the old caulking, bring it back to life.
And the funny thing is, you look at all this and you go, well, geez, they didn't do too much. Just to look, you did some new tiles, you did like green paint. Some of the things you don't see is everything that's underneath it. We've controlled all air movement around your attic, yet thermal broke everything. It's the way I would do my own home, it's the way I'm gonna do yours. So you're not gonna be cold, I absolutely guarantee it. I'm happy. You happy?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you both. You're nice people. Stuart,
Mike.
I like meeting good people. I like helping good people.
Mike, it was a pleasure. Oh, sorry. Hey, you guys. I'll see you downstairs.
I think before there was a lot of questions in our minds, just seeing the things that the home inspector missed, finding the mistakes and realizing there were these gaps, having Mike and the crew go through the home, find the mistakes that were the most safety-related issues, and repair them is definitely a load off of our minds, and we can definitely sleep easy knowing that there's no harmful gases, no rodents. Our bathroom is going to be dry and warm.
Having Mike and the guys here, it's been a blessing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're making it right.
Just pick that up for me.
Okay. What is that?
What is what? Don't touch that. Don't touch me with that. Are you kidding me? Okay, the joke's gone bad. Get away from me.
Oh, really?
Okay, here we go.
There we go, man. Okay, you ready? Look in the camera.
This house came with a house inspection previously done. It had nothing major that needed to be done.
You know, let's move in the whole stairs.
It was almost immediately after we moved in that we noticed things started to turn south.
Oh, look at that. So there's one bad sign.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like that. Laura and Robert wanted to move to a nice, quiet street with their daughter and have a house with a big backyard. They found that house quickly and at a price they could afford. The inspection was free, it was already done, and it looked okay. You know, I kind of like that. I encourage the homeowners to get an inspection before they sell. However, a few things a little sketchy within the report. What did he miss? I'm here to ask questions, get answers for Laura, Robert, and Madeline, and I'm gonna make it right.
We were looking for a house that was in the neighborhood we currently lived in and was on a quieter street.
We thought it would be perfect for Madeline as she loves to play and ride her bikes out front of the house. And we'd feel a lot safer with her in this kind of an environment in a street that had a lot more cars and trucks going by. This house had a lot of the things we were looking for.
A little bit more space.
Large backyard with lots of room to play.
We had originally bought a different house, and that sale we pulled out of because of the house inspection. This house came with a house inspection previously done. So based on that house inspection, which was fairly recent, we had looked at it, it had nothing major that needed to be done.
Reading that report and just being the house not being that old, we didn't really think there would have been any major concerns, so we kind of didn't question the home inspection.
Well, we've only been living in the house now for 3 months, and it was almost immediately after we moved in that we noticed things started to turn south.
Okay,
Hi.
you must be Laura.
I'm Mike.
I'm Mike. Robert,
Nice to meet
you're
you.
a big dude. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, thanks.
Since I have my sweater on and everything, why don't we sit
Okay.
on the outside, walk around the house,
Sounds good.
and we'll talk about all the problems you have.
Let's do
and the
it.
problems I'm about to have. Come on out.
Well, one of the first things we noticed was moving some things downstairs. I'd grabbed the handrail and it immediately had just kind of come off in my hand. You know, it wasn't a huge fix, but at the same time, too, we thought, well, you know, there was some safety issues that were on that home inspection, so we went back to it to check, and we looked at that and it wasn't noted. So it was kind of at that point we thought we better start taking a closer look at what's actually on this report and what might have gotten missed.
Tell me about your deck, even though I don't like it by just visuals right away.
I looked at the home inspection. It said it was structurally sound and it was in good shape. But I noticed a problem. One day I went out and I went to walk down the stairs and I started to lose my balance because they're a little wobbly. And I went to grab one of the baluster railings for support and it pulled right off in my hand. And I just thought it just didn't seem right.
There's no rail here, and we need a guardrail here.
Yeah.
And that's a safety
concerns
issue?
me because I'm afraid of my daughter falling
It
off.
should be a guardrail. That's a very high rail. You know, let's moving the whole stairs, right? It's moving everything. Make that strong. These are people going up and down stairs. People party on the deck. Make it safe. Our ledger plate that's against the house is something I don't like. It's supposed to be bolted. So no bolts. I don't see any bolts. I do say hangers, good. And that tells me that there was never a permit pulled because it must be bolted.
If I'm gonna come back here, I usually go out the front door and come down the side. I don't like anybody up on the top. We go out to barbecue and that's about it.
That's a pretty good built house.
Yeah. We built that.
Did you? I hear that you have adopted a wonderful little baby girl.
Yes, 3-year-old daughter, Madeline. Yeah, she's
Good for you.
love of our life.
Well, I can tell you built her own little house. This is a nice neighborhood. I like it. All right, let's go up there and take a look. Do you mind?
No.
Okay. I'm going to assume you have snow build up there in the winter.
Well, we haven't been here in winter. Well, we do have water come in when it rains.
Door itself is in rough shape. It's as if somebody just primed it and didn't do anything else in 9 years and have completely left it. We're seeing all kinds of deterioration on the door on each side. Here we have a seal on the sill, and even that's going, but no seal here whatsoever across the bottom. And think of that driving rain coming in, and then we do this. There's no caulking here at the ceramic tile. Well, it meets the door, so that's a problem. That driving rain comes in, it goes down underneath the tile and actually affects the floor. What I may have to do in this case is actually open the ceiling in the basement to take a look up to see what damage it has done. And that's something I would recommend to someone. 1, get this fixed. 2, take a look downstairs to see if it's molded, it's rotted, it's done structural issues. I think we're gonna have to address that. Okay, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Want to go downstairs?
Let's go.
You have a kitchen downstairs?
Yes.
Yes. This was an in-law apartment.
Look at that, no clean out, and that is totally incorrect. Now, this was not in the report, and I tell you, that should be in the report. So whoever did the plumbing here does not know what they're doing.
Oh my gosh.
So there's one bad sign.
Oh my gosh.
So they did a dishwasher directly in, so that's illegal. That dishwasher must go before the trap. This must be vertical. Since I'm here, I'm actually going to, because I know I've got to look at it. Make a bit of a mess. Remember, this is not a home inspection, this is a Holmes inspection. I'm here to make it right. Oh, okay. Look, come on. There's our discharge, which goes directly across the line. This is starting to tell me there's no vent, no air behind water, plus the trap runs into another T, which is supposed to be vertical. So everything to do with this area is 100% wrong. Rules, is there clean up in the trap? Was the plumbing done properly? Is it leaking? 3 things, right?
Well, I was thinking that when you hire a home inspector, that they would be a little bit more thorough. I would think that they would check things like turning on a tap. But I guess that they just visually look at stuff and look for anything that you can see with your eye. And that's unfortunate because I guess a lot of things get missed that way.
Let's go upstairs.
Mike, this is the ensuite.
We're over the living room.
Yeah, we're above the fireplace.
You don't have a toilet seat.
Well, that's because I didn't want anybody to use it.
That's not in the report.
One of the very first things we noticed was that none of the toilets in the house worked. None of them would flush. They were all they were all at the point where they were almost overflowing every time we would try to flush them.
It's not very efficient water flow, is it, when you gotta flush the toilet 450 times to put down your waste?
We didn't pay for the home inspection as it was included in the price of the house, but I guess at the end of the day, we got what we paid for.
Which was not a lot.
Oops. Once again, not in the report. Come on, smarten up.
It's been quite a disappointment to be living in the house for only 3 months and have many of the features that we bought it for to be inaccessible or unusable. It's just a constant worry for me. I can't believe that a house that's only 9 years old would have this many issues in it already.
In the report, the home inspector said the landscaping minor repairs needs to be done. Well, I guess it does. It slopes every which way you don't want it to back towards the foundation. It is the garage, though. And that is definitely, you don't want that. That's why we use PL Premium. It glues it down. It's actually dangerous. Imagine just walking up there, tripping, falling, someone smashes their head on the concrete. More than anything, on the other side of this, it's even more of a tripping hazard. And someone walking out can easily trip and fall. Just avoid them. You know, nice and simple, pull this up. Not to mention that it runs down towards the foundation. It cups just a little bit here. We want it running away. This does look like this downspout's been here a long time, and it probably does go into the weeping system. If all the houses dumped water into the sewer, and the street dumps water into the sewer, it backs it up. That's why we see floods in a low spot on a street, because the sewers just back up, boom, and they flood the roads. It'd be nice to take that out. Oddly enough, somebody builds a nice set of stairs and rails here, nice and strong compared to the deck. This is the area that Laura was coming down, and because there's no rail, there is on this side, and it's okay if you hold this side, but if you're coming down, you want to do something, you just grab and you pull these out. That is not good. It's something I recommend when you have a deck this tall off the ground. It's got to be 9, 10 feet off the ground. You make this strong that if anyone falls against it, you cannot fall off. I'm not really pushing on it, you know? It's just not strong enough. Look at this. You know, I don't like 2x2s as a rail, to be honest with you. Oops. Okay. I didn't kick that hard. I kicked that really light, and it hit Madeline's house, so listen, I'm just gonna kick it slightly again. Oh, so some of them are in good, and obviously, some of them are not. That's not good. We may have an issue here. The fireplace exhaust is right here. Now, when this is going, it's really hot. I can feel how warm that is, and that's only the pilot light. And we are going against structure. It is metal, but vinyl here. These are not fireproof. These will light up. It's an oil-based product. And look at the heat going against the shingles. As far as I'm concerned, that's an issue. Big issue. Fireplace is switched fireplace, so it's not on the thermostat, meaning you flick the switch, on goes the fireplace. And you know what? I'm gonna run that for a couple of minutes. And I'd love to turn that on to high, because I want to see exactly what that's going to do outside, being so close to the shingles. I got a big concern, let me tell you, big concern. All in all, this is a nice home. It's structurally good. They've had a lot of problems with their toilets. Okay, that's not a great flush. Now, what really people don't know is there's a lot of choices of toilets out there. A lot of them are good. Remember, they're cheap. A builder's gonna buy the cheapest toilets they can to put in the house, and because it's not, they're gonna say, oh, low flush, should not use a lot of water. It doesn't mean the toilet's really good. And in this case, they're having toilet problems throughout the house. More than likely, they just need a better toilet. Once again, no clean out. Not in the report. Come on, smarten up. I didn't walk into the laundry room with the homeowner. You've heard the story. Your ring falls off, it goes down the drain. The trap is the area that if you're gonna have a clog, that's where it's going to be. Without a clean out, the plumbers are gonna have to take apart the entire assembly just to get at the clog. It's designed this way to hold the small amount of water which blocks the sewer gases from penetrating back into the house. Every drain should have a trap, and every trap should have a clean out, especially if the trap is exposed. That's 3 sinks out of 3 sinks that have no clean out. 3 in 3. Okay, let's look at the gas lines for a minute. I have no shut off here for this gas. I need a shut off right here. We'll have to fix that. Okay, now I have that on. I've had, ooh, that's really, really hot. You think about that, they have Madeline. This is a deck, and you don't want to be touching this. Then I've got a flammable product here that's really hot, by the way, really hot. And I'm not touching it. That's only been on an hour. Can you imagine the wintertime when they have it on all day? But look at this little house.
I love it.
I like this little house. Are you home?
That's awesome. They're in the basement doing laundry.
That is too cool. Let's get our tools.
Well, it can't be that bad of a house. Someone gave it a star.
Well, they did, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple stars live here.
It's not us.
Unless they put that up for you.
It wasn't for me, buddy.
Yeah, it was probably for you. Well, the main reason we are here is the deck. I got a couple of problems here. You can see it's just nailed right into the house, and the actual home inspector completely missed that. No real spacing at the bottom here.
They went really tight, eh?
There's no room for expansion and contraction. Also, because the upper deck is actually shading this deck, it's not drying it out. You can see the fungi that's starting to grow on the deck. We should have a small upper deck and do a land deck downstairs. So an interlocking stone, something like that at the bottom. Why make it so big when the kids can hit that?
Right.
And I'm talking about the fireplace.
I see. So by making the deck smaller.
Yeah, just imagine, we do a small deck like this, right?
Yeah.
Opens up down to downstairs to bring the sun in and not create that cavity. Look at the door. There's no weather stripping at the bottom.
Right.
And again, there's nothing in code that says let's protect the door, that we should put up storm doors or do an overhang over the door. Even if we put up an overhang, we still have that driving rain.
I mean, this door eventually is going to just start rotting out.
So I got a question for you. What's a better door for here?
I'd go vinyl. I'd go a slider.
A slider?
Yeah.
That's the best performance door for here. We should do a slider here. Get Dominic here.
Okay.
I really like that idea. And at least that's going to save that.
Absolutely.
Maybe the home inspector was a little short, eh? Because this is an issue. I'm 6 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just watched you go down doing the limbo.
That, yeah.
So this is not the code. It's a shame. How do you miss these little things, right? Anything to do with stairs and rails, we must make it strong. Because when it's not built right,
it's pretty easy.
It actually comes apart easy. Yes, it does, actually.
Set, we're out here, buddy.
And that came off too easy. Ready? Let's go.
Well, the fact we took that off in less than 60 seconds tells you everything about the safety of this railing.
Love that tool. He's this far, and these two guys, look where they are.
Yeah,
I put my money on him.
You know what, Adam? My money's on you two. Finish.
Damon, come here. I want to show you what we're going to do downstairs.
Sure, bud.
You can see clearly that we cannot lower the deck because there's literally, that's the floor joist. Door's right there. There's no way to lower it, so we're going to have to work with this. Once we pull this all up, pull off all the nails, I'll be a happy guy. And if you do it in an hour, you're going home early.
Guys, let's go! Got it? Got it.
You know why they're coming up so easy? Because they're wet. You can see all the verticals here. These are just sitting on the ground. They're not into anything. There's not even a patio stone underneath it. So it just doesn't make it strong. It's nice that they used joist hangers, but I mean, you just can't do that. Even the 6x6 here, look at, it's not even in the ground. You should use concrete blocks or something, because that's not gonna work. You know, the wood's not terrible, but now it's so saturated on the bottom, it's never gonna last. And there's problems, so I gotta fix it. Well, my dad would have freaked on this one. He's, Mike, do it right the first time. I can hear him still saying it. He's like, always saying it to me. Well, he's right. You do it right, you don't have to do it again. We're gonna do it right this time. Martin.
All right, Mike.
Okay, well, we can see clearly, this is wrong.
I got several problems here. Trap number one, no clean out. This TOI being completely incorrect, so this would all have to be redone. Then as we go into the wall, it actually wants to drain upstream.
And we don't have the dishwasher before the trap.
Exactly. This dishwasher right now is exposed to all the sewer gases because it does not have a trap. It's just completely incorrect. It is actually common in kitchen sinks, especially kitchen drains, to pull out all kinds of debris from spoons to stir sticks. The trap will actually capture most of that stuff, and that will obviously create a chain reaction, and other debris will be able to accumulate on top of that. Okay, so I'm done with my kitchen drain. I've got my left-hand side and the right-hand side compartment connected together before the trap. I also have my dishwasher connection here before the trap, so everything is being protected from sewer gases coming out and getting inside the house. I do have a clean out at the bottom, which will be used for any maintenance or cleaning purposes if some items are dropped accidentally.
Adam, just stop right there, bud. That is unbelievable. Yeah. You see what I'm seeing?
Yep, everything.
They took off the siding right under this whole door. All that water that was sitting on this deck and this ledge was getting right in there. You know what else I want to see? How come we're not seeing damage in the house here? Oh, we are. That's why. Look at that.
Soft?
Oh, my God. Look at that. I'm going to show you something. Look at how wet that insulation is. I just pulled out right now. Look at this. What they've done here is taken off the siding. I know what they were trying to achieve. They're trying to get it right to structure. They've actually taken the waterproofing off of the house and allowed all the water that leached from the deck into the back of the house, and everything from this sill was going right inside the house. Okay, just watch the siding. Please don't pull it. Like, who does that? much damage this has done. Oh my God. Look at this, how soft that drywall is. I just pushed that in with my hand. And that's what I was afraid of. We have mold, and look at the water on that. I really have seen enough to make me sick. What I want, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
look at this.
The door.
Oh, yeah, you stupid, stupid, stupid. Look, how far does this go? Oh, that far. I'm not so much worried about the structure. I'm not worried about the wood. This deck is at the most 5 years old. I think we caught it just in time. Worst case scenario, if this deck lasted another 10 years, 10 years of water coming in here, what we have electrical here, we have mold growing. Mold will actually make you sick. My issue is how stupid something like this is. You do something on the exterior of your house, you got to think of what you're affecting on the interior. By ripping off siding, that's an outside finish, keeping water out.
You and I are wrestling up here. We had a couple of wobblies, you know, beers. And we're wrestling, and you break, and you go down, you break your neck. It's like, you're my buddy. I don't want you to die. I don't want to die myself.
You just want to wrestle me over a few beers.
That's it. You know, have a burger and a beer. And...
I'm not drinking with you anymore, man. One, two, three, timber!
Just digging a hole here for the deck. It wasn't deep enough from the previous contractor, so we got to go down another 2 feet to make it 4 feet. You have to put the hole 4 feet below grade, which is 1 foot below frost, because if you don't, it won't be stable. The structure will move in the winter when it freezes.
We filled our hole. We've beveled it a bit on the top just to help any water that does hit it shed right off. And now we're putting our saddle in, which is going to hold our 6x6 post and allow us to bolt through and hold it nice and steady. It will sit up above the water line now and won't rot out like the previous ones did. When you're doing post holes, if you're doing a fence, you sink it in the ground in order to get that lateral support. When you're doing structured things, you put the sonotube in to give yourself a footing, to give you the vertical support, to hold the weight load of the deck.
So I'm going to assume you checked the furnace in both fireplaces, yes?
Yeah, one downstairs is fine. Minor issue with this one. These burn, you got exhaust fresh air. The fresh air comes into the cavity where the gas valve is. I'm guessing the homeowner probably plugged it up with some rags. They've jammed this in all the holes to try to seal that up.
To stop the cool breeze from coming in.
Inside the house.
And that's not smart.
You ever get any type of flashback or any type of leak in there from the pilot tube, you'll have a little bit of a flame.
If anything, in the winter, we need to encourage people, turn on your pilot light.
Yeah.
Because that way you stop that cool draft from coming in. It creates that cycle, right? Mm-hmm. Furnace.
Furnace looks fine, other than some gas issues. You have a lot of gas appliances here. You got 2 fireplaces,
gas stove,
dryer, hot water tank, barbecue line. Appliances were added, but the line coming in from the gas meter was never changed. It's a 3/4 line. It's too small.
So the point is we don't have enough gas to supply if they've turned everything on at once.
That's right.
Clear.
There's a couple other things that are code issues here. They have lines running off the gas that doesn't have shutoffs on it. So you don't have a shutoff on this line here. Every appliance should have a shutoff. These lines don't. So we're gonna basically take out this 3/4 inch pipe, run a 1 inch line in, and that way supply enough gas for all the appliances. See, that's the fitting that comes from the utilities, from the gas company. It's 1 inch. When they build subdivisions, what they do is they run a 3/4 line and they'll reduce it. So we're gonna bring it back, run a 1 inch in. That way we got enough for everything. Well, we've just threaded up our 1 inch pipe. This is our 1 inch pipe that's gonna be going through the wall. So once we get this in, they can run all the appliances at once. Nothing's going to be starving for gas once we're done.
During my plumbing inspection, I discovered that all 3 toilets were not working properly. Everything was perfectly fine with the drain. It was just the toilets that were faulty. My recommendation is to replace them all and upgrade them to something of a better quality. The toilet is composed of 2 items that sort of work together. The toilet tank is responsible for water conservation because the amount of water that is accumulated and the amount of water that is being discharged is driven by the mechanism that's inside. The other component, which is very important, is the toilet bowl. If the toilet bowl has the right design, the water will be able to pick up momentum very quickly and we'll be able to remove the water and the waste efficiently without causing any blockages. And the better it is, the less water we need to actually flush everything down.
Well, we're just taking out the old doors and we're ready to put in the new ones today. We have Dom from Trimbo Windows coming in to actually install the door. Look at you can actually see the staining where the water was actually coming in here and going right downstairs. Yeah. You know what I see? Not one bead of silicone underneath this door. And you're talking about probably 10 seconds of caulking the bottom of a door before you lay it into place. You want to caulk everywhere around your door on the outside, but as well, you want to get an actual layer underneath your door in case there's any water penetration at all. It's a backup. Why not do it? Oh, look at that, buddy. Now that says you got a penetration on the outside. Bugs can get in, water can get in.
We can see how much water's actually gotten behind this siding due to this beam being just sort of nailed or fastened right over the top of the existing siding material. We've got some rot, we've got bugs in here. You can see the rust on all the nails. A lot of water been getting at this wall. So we got to get this material moved away. Hey, Damon?
Oh man, look at that. That's a little moist. That was in behind the sheeting?
Yeah.
Now, we had a little bit of water in behind the old flashing, and we're just replacing the worst of the sheeting. Along the sides, it's a little damp, but we've let the air at it for a little while. It's drying out fine. This is the worst piece. I wanted to replace it. What am I going to use? I'm going to use blue wood on this only because it's water resistant, it's mold resistant, and it's insect resistant. So that's what I want to use in the outside sheeting here. The wooden doors, the way they finish at the bottom is relying on a gasket around the door to keep weather out. They fail. You're allowing weather to get in there constantly, so that type of door just doesn't work on a patio. The reason we went with this door is because there is a better seal around this whole door. It's not going to allow that weather in. They don't have to do any maintenance to it. This is a vinyl door. It will last them the rest of their lifetime in this house. This ledger plate is really just going to help us keep water off of the house, snow, everything. I'm going to take this board and I'm going to lag it into the house. Lagging, I'm going to take a 1/2-inch bolt, 5 inches long, and lag it right into structure on the inside of this house so that this isn't going anywhere. This is going to become part of the house, which is part of my structure, which is going to hold up the deck. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually blue skin this. It's a waterproof material that we're going to actually adhere right to this, and then it's going to get flashed. And then we're going to put our outside framing over top of that, on top of spacers. You know what? We're actually perfect right there. Just hold the line. So this just means to me somebody's finally thinking. We want water not sitting against the back ledger of our plate and against the house. It'll find its way in if there's any crevices. What we want to do is block it off the house so that we have water drainage off our deck to be able to come down. Now, we used to do that with blocks of wood, but somebody has made an actual product that's a puck-style system that you can still bolt through, but what it does is it holds it off of your house, allowing all the water to just drain right off. Let's get this up, guys. All All right, I'm gonna work my way down, boys. Slide it right up there, bud. Wood is a natural product. It will always twist and turn. And what you get in a piece of wood when they cut it is a crown, which is a slight bow in the wood. You want to make sure that slight bow is always facing the same way so you're not struggling with the wood. So one of the problems with the old deck is there was no spacing in between the boards. They went tight. The wood doesn't have any room to expand and contract. So what's going to happen is the boards are going to cup, and they're going to split, and they're going to wear prematurely. We want to make sure we have a gap here for water runoff and for the expansion and contraction of wood. Oh, you're lightweight. I thought you were going to be heavy.
We should have a small upper deck and do a land deck downstairs. Give me about a 4-foot opening, a column post with a light, and then bring that wall across here.
Yeah.
And here's where I want you to cut it round. Post here and light and open from here to the house. Get our permits?
Will do.
And let's make it right.
Well, we have all the guys here today. We have Steve Graves here today. I want him to finish off the siding. We have Teo. Teo is going to actually start getting some more stone down today. The faster Teo gets done means I can finish off the deck, meaning the stairs can actually land on his patio. We'll probably be helping out some of the trades today to get this finished.
You wouldn't put a house on an imperfect foundation, so it's the same principle. If you don't have a solid base, you don't have a solid patio. So things are going to move, and you don't want them to move, or if they do happen to move, you want them to move together. So we start off with the geotextile, put our first couple lifts of 3/4 crusher on, and we put another layer of geo down, and then we get up to the last layer, which is the sand, which is a bedding course. It's a whole process all the way down, so it makes a very stable platform to put the pavers on. And we've got a patio that will last 50 to 100 years. Although this looks like a reclaimed brick, this is brand new. It is manufactured like a brick. One difference, it's compressed. What it does is it makes this 27 times stronger than a concrete paver. But it is 100% clay. And it just brings that old world feeling back of the old clay pavers, but it's not a reclaimed brick that will disintegrate over time.
Vinyl siding's installed typically from the bottom up. So when we have to patch in an area, it's often difficult to work with. Now, fortunately, it's not too cold out yet, and the material's quite flexible, so we'll be able to tie into the existing. Vinyl and aluminum sidings will fade over time, so we've got a relatively close color match, but with a bit of time, it'll fade in together quite evenly.
The original railing here was just balusters and 2x4s. There was nothing to it, no strength, no corners, no posts. What we've done now is we've incorporated 4x4 posts, locked them in everywhere, screwed on our new balusters, which will give it that extra strength. No one will be able to go through it. The railing is solid now with our top cap. We're good.
So the problem with the original walkway is just the way it was laid. We had sloping coming into the house, so all the water that was hitting that stone was actually being driven right into the house, and it was just falling apart. There was no border holding it into place. It needed to be fixed up, and that's what I have the guys doing today. Just ripping up the old, regrading it, sloping it away from the house, and getting it back down. Okay, we're ready to start patching this up. I'm quite satisfied at this point that there's nothing else coming in. Steve did a great job on flashing. We've already got the deck up. And the best thing about it was the mold has not come further than, what, the 3 inches that I saw. And it was only a surface mold. We got rid of it. There's nothing anywhere else, so we're safe to put this back together, okay? Get the rocks all nice and tight, nice and snug. I want spray foam all above this door here. Insulate, drywall, mud.
I chose these lights. One, they're absolutely gorgeous. They're solid bronze. They give a nice little glow. It's not an overpowering type light. It's a nice glow in the backyard. They take 10 watts of power, so this all combined is probably running about a 100-watt bulb. That's about it. The pillars have been glued from bottom to top, as well as the coping. The normal procedure for building some of these retaining walls is make sure you adhesive it. Now, the manufacturers always say adhesive the cap. I go one step further. I do the whole thing. So even in landscaping, glue it. It's cheap insurance, and you know it's not going to move. It's not going to fall over. So why not just use it?
There's a lot of heat that comes from this fireplace. It was just too close to a lot of the building materials that were here and potential to cause a fire. They had shingles and stuff here. So they've put some siding on, put some aluminum flashing in, and then we added a diverter, and that diverts the heat away from any of that building material. Mike was a little concerned because it's very hot. You got a lot of hot flue gases coming out here. This gets very hot, and this is a traffic area. So he was concerned with the small kids touching that. So this is what we came up with. It's just basically a cover to protect somebody from touching the hot element in the back.
A nice new trough, eh, bud? Where are you bringing it, Steve? Right onto the back of that post there?
Well, exactly. The existing downpipe was coming down the wall and tying into that reaper.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't really need to replace the trough, but instead of patching it, it's such a short section, we're just putting a new piece in.
That's smart.
But the downpipe will come down this side of the post and kick out past the garden away from
Very
home.
nice. I think MJ's already patched up that hole. Actually, I know he has. I watched him do it. He filled that hole with non-shrink grout. So at this point, we're almost done here. Nice job, Stevie.
I love the back deck. I love the patio look. I think they're gonna fall over.
I think so too.
Wow.
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 Wow. Oh my gosh. I appreciate all the professionalism and the expertise that Mike and his team bring to the table. It's like
it's like a stamp of approval that's 100%.
You have confidence, you know, that it's going to be done correct.
It's not summer anymore.
No, it definitely isn't.
How you doing?
Not Good. Bad.
How about yourself?
You?
I'm doing good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Oh,
I'm gonna wait.
nice to see you too.
You too. Well, we're done. I think these guys did a great job. You can see that we've fixed your sidewalk from the front to the back.
It's wonderful. It's level.
Well, it runs in all the right directions, and more than anything, walking through here, this is what I want to see.
Yes.
No downspout here. Bring it across, bring it on this side here. You water the grass, not the side of the house.
No, this is great. I love it.
Well, let's go inside. Come on. I'll take you downstairs first. We'll talk about everything we've done. Gary, I love Gary. He is so good. He knew right away you were undersized on your gas pipe from the meter into the house. So not only did he redo all that, he redone it to your hot water heater. He's neatened everything up. He's actually very good at what he does. I love those guys. Well, we fixed the plumbing. You had a lot of plumbing problems within the house. It doesn't even look like we're here. I love it when we do things right. Martin, he's awesome. You have 3 new toilets throughout the house. I suppose you flushed them?
Yes.
Do you like them?
Wonderful.
I love them.
They're good toilets, and it goes down the drain the way it's supposed to.
And they work.
And they work.
They work. That's right.
That's good.
That's the most
We've done
important
something
part.
right. We want to tell you a little bit about what happened here. I want to show you what we had to do at the back door.
What they did is they stripped the siding. They knew they had to attach their back ledger plate to the house. What they did is they thought, hey, let's strip the siding off and attach it right to the house. That way we can tell where our nailing edges are and everything. Well, they didn't waterproof behind it. They didn't waterproof over top of it. They left it the way it was. So every water droplet, every piece of snow that melted on that deck came right into your house.
Damon actually came in, and he had a funny feeling. And what'd you do?
Pushed my finger through your drywall. It was about as soft as paper, wet paper.
What, down here?
Yeah.
Down here.
So all this has been replaced.
That's right.
We had to fix.
Right above the door here.
Oh yeah,
Right
it was
above the door.
saturated. He
Yeah.
actually took out the insulation and wrung it like a wet cloth.
Yeah.
So little things you don't know,
Yeah,
and we could have come in and done what maybe a lot of guys would have done was, oh, your structure's fine, we'll just go off it. The truth is, you start looking and you start paying attention to it. Damon made the right call, he pulled it off, and we've replaced everything.
Wow.
we had no idea that that issue was even present. And, you know, had we not known, you know, how much the extent of the damage what it could have caused going down the road.
You know, you didn't realize that the deck that they had built had done so much other damage as well. So that was quite a big shock.
We're just glad that it's fixed and it's done right. Wow. Holy.
What?
I don't even recognize this.
Wow, this is awesome.
This is a little different look, eh?
This is...
Yes, this doesn't look like our backyard.
No, not at all. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, with lights and
Oh, there's lights and everything.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
Not bad, eh?
This is great. I love it. The sexy lighting?
The mood lighting, yeah, no, it's great.
I love it. It's fantastic. It's so much extra. I thought that they were just going to put a patio, a stone patio, and to see the detail that they went to, it's fantastic.
You remember your deck was out to here?
Yes.
Okay, and like Damon said, they cut through everything and went right to wood. So all your verticals were replaced, the siding was fixed. We have a nice deflection with a metal roof on top, so there's nothing that's going to catch a fire.
That's good.
Gary is awesome. He
Oh
even
my
made up,
gosh.
he had to make it up because there's nothing on the market. So he made up a minor protection for your daughter, for Madeline.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
And it actually looks good too.
Oh my gosh. The extra work that they did on the back to make sure Madeline didn't get burnt or didn't get hurt by the vents for the fireplaces, like that's such care. To go beyond to custom make something to make sure she doesn't get hurt, that means so much to us. You know, she's the most important thing in our lives.
We even fixed this deck. We moved it, we leveled it, and now it's totally fine. So let's stand back for a second and look up. Looks pretty good.
Wow, it's beautiful.
We like to structure it. It's braced every 4 feet. It's so strong. Look, let's see how strong it is. Come on.
Oh, it doesn't wobble.
Let's see just how strong this rail is.
It's not moving.
You're not gonna, you can football tackle this. It's not going. We PL Premium, everything is so bonded together. We believe in doing things better.
This is fantastic. This is perfect.
I love the black
I love
rails, too.
Yeah.
I like the look. I think these guys did a great job.
I think so, too. Can't believe
It's amazing.
And the sun drops right over there, eh?
Yeah.
So you got a great view at nighttime here.
I feel amazing that the work Mike's done has been done so well, and it's more than we ever expected, and it's just fantastic.
I think if we were going to buy another house down the road, we definitely would do our homework as far as hiring a home inspector and getting reference checks or call Mike. Yeah.
We'd use Mike Holmes' Homes Inspections. This is for you.
Oh, look at this. This is me. Madeline, did you make this? This is beautiful. Thank you so much. To the team, good job, guys.
Well, the fact we took that off in less than 60 seconds tells you everything about the safety of this rail.
Who are you talking to?
Some guy in the backyard. The neighbor keeps talking to me. I don't know.